Hey everybody, this is Sabrina. Welcome back to my channel. I haven't done an update for my 10 on 10 project in a while. I have May and June to share with you, so I'm gonna start with May. And I use the printable kits from Ashley Horton's shop, the CutShoppe, and I absolutely love them. You can just print the PDFs and then fussy cut them, or you can use your Silhouette or Cricut to cut out the different die cuts. But there's journaling cards and pattern papers and, like I said, die cuts and even digital stamps, and I am obsessed with these kits. I use them for so many different projects, not just this 10 on 10, but also my journal pages, and you guys have seen those. So I always like to start these 10 on 10 with a opening page, and I picked this rainbow paper, and then at the bottom I added some brown. Now my camera shut off. I don't know why. You guys, it's summer, so silly things are gonna happen, but this is how my starting page looked. I used a documented card and then the pattern paper at the bottom, along with the collage on the right hand side. The collage kind of covers the morning, and I figured, you know what, I'm gonna do collages this month just to make things simpler for myself. So I just wrote about how I made breakfast and lunches in the morning, got the kids to school. I'm thankful that I can read my book and eat breakfast. I also had a funny picture of my cats begging for breakfast. I figure out what I'm gonna do for the day as far as my creative goals, and then I always start a load of laundry. So that was kind of fun to have that documented card and think about the things that are a part of my morning routine. And then I will glue that to the cover page with the rainbow. And I also added a die cut to the front of that rainbow paper, so that way it said May. I don't think I mentioned that. So going to the next page after the morning is going to be a walk. I went on a wonderful walk because I wanted to see these beautiful flower plant. I don't even know what it is, but it is the coolest flower plant that I have ever seen, and it was blooming, and I think it's actually called a crown of jewels. It's like a desert plant, but I used another collage, and I also saw some other really cool plants as well on my walk, so I just made a collage of that, and I took a selfie and I put that on the right hand side. And I will also use some brown paper with crosses on it, or plus signs, whatever you want to call it, and I just tore a little section to put at the bottom. Just something to have there for a little bit of texture, and just to use another pattern paper. I will also add some fussy cut flowers. I don't know if I'm going to do that right now, but I do know that later on, when I get done with all the pages and adhering everything, I will add some stamped phrases from Kerri Bradford. And there's a little bit of negative space by the bottle brush tree, so I'm going to add a label to that later on. The next set of pages kind of covers the afternoon, and again, went with a collage. I took 3 photos while we were picking up the kids, and I just decided those all made sense to go together. So I have those on the left, and then on the right-hand side, I have some happy mail that I got some bookmarks from a scrapbook friend named Audrey. Her shop is called something else. I totally forget it, but I will go ahead and link it. I absolutely love her bookmarks. They are so fun. I got one for my daughter and one for me. Mine is Princess Tiana. She's one of my favorite princesses. So I included that. And then on the top, I wanted to have another journaling card, so I just did a flip up. I wanted to be able to have a place to do some bullet point journaling about the afternoon. And when you flip it up, I'm just going to add a really big die cut of one of the cactuses. Not make it too complicated on myself, or make it so I have to fill in a ton of journaling, because I didn't do such a great job of making notes for this particular day. So that's kind of another reason why I I just add the big cactus. I also decide to use this beautiful pattern paper. I think I've already used it once already, maybe. But either way, this is a beautiful pattern paper, and I decided to fussy cut a few of the pieces just so I can add them to the left and to the right. The printable kit does come with a flower die cut that I really love, and I think I added that to my morning page. Yeah, I added it to my morning page up in the corner, but for this page, I just wanted to have a little bit of fussy cut flowers. Just do something a little bit different and sprinkle them around the page. And once I have all of those cut, I can go ahead and adhere down my collage, and I took a die cut that says love this and put that right smack dab in the middle. I am the nicest mom ever, and if you can tell, my son is actually sitting up in the front seat because my son is like almost 10 inches taller than me now at this point, so I let him sit up in the front seat, and so I'm in the back seat, so that's why I can take a good picture of the dudes sitting up front because I'm in the back seat. Isn't that nice of me? But like I said, my son is so much taller than me, and it is kind of ridiculous to have him sitting in the back seat because it just won't work. It's uncomfortable for him. So I used my glue pen, but I was actually off camera like banging this glue pen because it sounded like it had glue in it, but it just was not coming out. But I got it to all work, and then I just sprinkled these flowers that I cut out, and then I'm just going to grab that gigantic die cut and adhere it down. I think, again, my camera cut off when I glued it down, but you get the point. I put the cactus die cut on. I'm going back to this page to add that little label because I really wanted to have a spot where I could like kind of list out the different plants that I saw, and also that I just made sure that I got a walk in this particular day because I drove by, or every day I was driving by this beautiful desert plant, and I just kept forgetting to go on a walk and specifically go that way to see this plant, and I finally did, which was great because like a few days later it stopped blooming. But like I said, it's called Crown of Jewels, and it's the one in the bottom right. But I also saw some bottle brush, and then I think the other one's like called a pig face plant. It's kind of the purple one in the center, but it's really cool, like whole street of different plants. So I included those in a collage, and of course I have to punch the holes. I will say honestly, I'm a little worried about how close I put the holes for a lot of my pages, so hopefully they hold up. If they don't, then I can always use those binder enforcer stickers and hope that that helps. So for the journaling, I just did talking about picking up the kids at school. We did a library pickup, my happy mail, picking strawberries from the porch, and then doing a late afternoon workout. And I left a little space up at the top because I am going to do some stamping and stamped phrases. So there's that giant die cut that I decided to use, and I am happy with using it. So it works. I love the die cuts and the kits, and like I said, it makes it so I don't have to journal some more, especially when I don't have anything to journal, because I just didn't take very good notes. I had two kind of evening photos, and I decided to just use the ice cream one and wrap up the day that way, because I always like to end the pages on the left-hand side. That way when I do the opening for the next month, it's on the right. I grabbed another really cool pattern paper with a bunch of cactuses, and some of the pots have like a cat face on them, which is really cute. So I added a little bit of that on the left-hand side, and then my photo. And up at the top, I'm going to add some more of that brown neutral paper just because I thought it would, look good, add a little more texture, and also have that consistency since I've already used it several times. And then I'll go back through and add in all my stamping, and I'm using two relatively new stamp sets that I got from Kerri Bradford, like Block of Stories, and then a spring one that has that same block kind of vibe to it that she does. She does block type stamping for a lot of different sets. And so I'm loving these stamp sets right now. They're super versatile, ton of phrases, and I love them. So I'm going to go back through and see what I want to add as far as stamping. For this page, I know for the cover, I want to add the date, and then I am going to stamp on this day, and this day went well. I love those two phrases because the day did go well. It was a good day. I got my walk and lots of things were accomplished. I stamped on this day right on the rainbow paper, and I didn't like it, so I'm just going to stamp it on the white paper and then adhere it down. I'm also going to grab my roller date stamp and stamp May 10th. I haven't done that on any of the other months, and I didn't realize until I was editing this video, so I might go back through and add in the roller date to the other pages. It's not totally necessary since it's, you kind of, I already know. Someone who was looking at the album would probably already know, but it would be nice to have the actual date there. So on the next page, I'm going to stamp around here and Ordinary Magic. The Ordinary Magic, I decided to put that right on the gigantic mess of breakfast and lunch. And you notice I made that the focal photo in the collage. So I mean, you embrace the mess, just embrace the mess altogether. And above the Wednesday die cut, I'm going to stamp Bits of Life. That way there is one stamped phrase on the left-hand side. So a few little phrases, and like I said, this Kerri Bradford stamp set has so many awesome phrases for the everyday life, and then also the spring one that I got. I don't know if she has a summer one yet for the same block series. I wish she did because I need more summer stamps. I am adhering the morning collage to the back of the neighborhood collage, and that did not work. I lined up the holes, but then when I lined up the holes, like, it was all wacky. So I had to cut off a portion of the collage to like make it look uniformed size, if that makes sense. But oh well, at least the holes were lined up. Now for this page, I want to stamp a few phrases. I've got some negative space over on the left, so I'm going to stamp Warmer Days and then just cut that out on paper. And then I did something really cool to add brown paper to the other side, and I took a really small torn portion and added that to the top of my label. Isn't that really cool? I love that. Love that little piece and how it turned out. I'm also going to use like the last scrap of this paper and fussy cut out 2 of the flowers on it and just add that to the right hand side. Just that way there was another spot in my pages that had these fussy cut flowers, because I just love consistency and kind of doing the same thing between my pages. So, and also that way the right hand side has flowers just like the flower photos on the other side. So I also have Fresh Air, which is going to go on the bottom right, and then Bloom and Grow is going to go above the label. So really love the idea of making these collages, and I've mentioned it before, but the app is called Pick Frame, and I'm pretty sure it's free. There is a subscription option, but I've always done free, and I love that you can do the custom sizes. So like when I was doing Week in the Life, I needed 4x8s, and so I did that custom size, and it is perfect. And then I did 4x4s, which is a custom size. So I love it, and it's definitely a tool that I use when I am scrapbooking. So I've adhered down everything for this page, and then I'm going to move on to the afternoon page. And I don't add any phrases except onto the journaling card. I also grabbed my vellum sheet. Every month I take all the digital stamps, or most of them, and I make a vellum insert. It's like a 4x6 vellum insert. And this month, can I just blame summer again, please? Because this vellum insert, it wasn't my favorite. I just made it really busy, and normally I keep the digital stamps pretty big because they do come big in the files, which is fantastic. But for this one, I really kept things small, and I did a lot of a lot on a small space. So I don't know. It's not my favorite. And I accidentally did the Justin Timberlake digital stamp. I accidentally did like 3 in a row. And to me, it reminds me of tic-tac-toe. But whatever, we're moving on, right? That's the whole goal. I got it printed. I got it done. We're going forward. On the journaling card in that little space that I left, I stamped, love this family, would do again, and out and about. And on the last page, I'm just going to stamp loving. I thought about doing it in the center, but I decided to do it all the way across the page. And then I'll add a die cut that says love and also a heart because we were having family dessert. Because in my house, we are very big on dessert. It is kind of like a tradition around here. We love our desserts. So once I have that adhered, I'm going to go and get everything back in the album, and then I can do kind of a quick little flip through so you guys can see it. And after June, I'll probably do like a walkthrough for the first 6 months because I think I might do a second volume for the second half of the year. That way I don't have to try to cram everything in there. Okay, so I've got it all in, and now I can show you. May is complete. I absolutely love this little project. I find it totally doable. It is so fun to play with these printable kits. I hope you guys have enjoyed seeing these come together. I'd love a thumbs up or a subscribe if you're new to my channel. Have a great day. Bye.